Fellow Southern Cameroonians, fellow Amazonian citizens, I'm Raymond Sama, the station director of SCBC. First, when the idea of creating the SCBC came on and we did our research and got a contract, we had to pay the satellite fee of $9,000 and a setup fee of $2,000. At the time, a lot of us did not believe that this was going to be real. But one illustrious Southern Cameroonian decided to give us a loan of $7,000 to start up the TV. And with that loan, we had our Abomo Live family that came through and also gave us $3,985.61. This amounted to $10,985.61. Now, because we needed $11,000 to start up the channel, we had to spend this $9,000 for the satellite fee in May, which was when SCBC started, and we paid a once-off setup fee of $2,000, and online streaming, which we started with $300, and that we had a bank charge of $227.06 that amounted to $11,527.6. This amount was more than what we had, and therefore in June, in May, that amount was carried over. There was a minus, the deficit of $541.45 that was brought forward to as a minus for the bills that we paid in May. And so in that same May, for us to have the channel running in June, Abomo Live again came through and they gave us $4,344.95. Southern Cameroon community in the UK gave £1,500. That amounted to $1,992.85. God's Chosen also sent us $400. This amount minus the $541.45, we had an income of $6,196.35 in May. That was all we had to pay the June bills. This was not enough, and therefore we had to ask SCACUF to come forth and cover the balance, which they couldn't at the time. So while we were trying to find out where to get that, our brother Derek put in $4,500 to cover that so we can be able to be on air, and SCACUF was still delaying to come on board. And at the time, the webmaster informed us that there is some money that did not go through to SCACUF that was meant through this PayPal accounts, which could be used for that purpose. And so Mr. Atam Milan at the time was the leadership council was informed about this, and this amount was sanctioned to be paid to cover the loan that Mr. Derek had put in to pay for the SCBC. While this happened, Southern Cameroon community in the UK came through again and gave £1,000, which amounted to $1,328.59. And Singer, Southern Cameroonians in Nigeria, also contributed $2,000. Now, this was after the bills of the SCBC had been paid in June, and so these monies came through to the SCACUF SA account. It didn't come through directly to the SCBC, and at the time, there was some pressing need for money, and they used the money at that time to take care of those needs for the struggle. Now, you would realize that since that money was used in June, we would not include it in the finances until the end to show how whether the money was paid or not. And so in July, since we didn't have any finances, in July we sent the full invoice to SCAPAC to pay the bills, and SCAPAC sent through $9,000. Out of the money that SCACUF SG had collected, they sent through $1,000, so we could be able to pay the bills. In that same month of July, Belgium, Southern Cameroonians in Belgium sent through 3,924.74 euros, which amounted to $4,631.78. That same month in July, Southern Cameroonian China Union sent in $1,100. So in July, the total money that came through for the TV was $16,731.78. Now, after the expenses in July, which amounted to $11,317.56, we had a balance which was carried over to August, and the balance is $5,414.22. This carryover was then augmented by SCAPAC, that gave us $6,383 to cover the bills for August. Now, therefore the amount that we had in August was $11,810.22. Now, so August was catered for. Come September, since we had moved to an office space at the time, I just want to mention here that before August, we were running SCBC in one of the crew, the members' residence, and we were not paying rents at the time. We were using his internet facilities to run the channel as well, so that cost was being incurred by the team. And so in August, since we moved to a new facility, we had to pay rents, we had to pay electricity, we had to pay fiber internet, and so the bills of SCBC had to rise. And therefore, out of the money that was we had in August, we spent $12,027.13, which was more than what came in. And so in September, we had a minus that was carried forward. The amount that came through in the month of September, that was CAPAC 3,000, which came in late because they didn't, and they had also mentioned to us that there was no finances to pay, and that's why the PayPal had to cover the cost, and they sent $10,000, and China Union 1,100, and Abomo Life $495, which made $14,378.9. Now, as I've already explained, since we moved to a new studio, the bills also increased, and these are the expenses that came in September: office rentals, fiber, internet payment, monthly electricity bills, and our normal live show components, live streaming, and the satellite fee. And that's amounted to $13,081.61. That was in September. And in October, we had a plus of $165.1 that came from September. And we sent an invoice to the SG, and who sent it through to SCAPAC, and yet we didn't have any funds. We had to pressure them because the satellite company was pressurizing and they wanted to close SCBC. So the Secretary General had to make another move with the webmaster, and they released the $10,000 that came through to pay for the bills, which was not enough though, but we had to manage to pay the bills for October. Now, the reason why we actually making this video is because the controversy that was created and the impression was given that the Secretary General was taking money out of the PayPal account and using it for his personal gains. We keep wondering why fingers are pointing at the Secretary General, because none of that money had ever entered his account. He has never seen a cent. All that money was sent through to the SCBC 3 times, in July, in September, and in October. And all these months, CAPAC wasn't able to pay the bills of the SCBC. And that is why he had to come through to make sure he saved the channel. We all know, we cannot overemphasize the importance that the SCBC had towards the struggle. And so the Secretary General understood this, and he knew that without the channel, a lot of things would go wrong. And so he had to make sure that monies were available for this to be done. So I still keep wondering why some people keep pointing the finger at him and accusing him for misappropriation of funds. You know, over the past 6 months, the cost incurred to run this channel so far had just been monies we pay to service providers. We need to understand that there's other costs associated with this channel, like logistics, equipment, and content production as well. This cost has been the responsibility of the SCBC team so far, and we are hoping that when these finances are presented at the conclave and looking for a way forward, the conclave and the leadership would find ways to cover that cost going forward. It's also worth mentioning that SCBC now has been registered in another country, and an account to be opened there. And going forward, we will have the board managing the finances of the SCBC with the supply chain management system in place to make sure that we don't have this kind of controversy concerning finances anymore. And so we are hoping that as we go to the conclave, we'll come out with resolutions, and that will be favorable to the team that is running the SCBC, and we'll be able to pay our bills timelessly, and also to enable the team to focus on doing proper content production, so that our channel will be a force to reckon with in the communication world. I want to thank you all, and I hope that this finances helped in clearing the air regarding the controversy that it created. Thank you very much.